What's going on, guys? Klutch here once again. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're looking at a new mod map for PC, Farms of Madison County. Yeah, this is a new mod map, just got released this last week. It's a American style map, a 4X map, very large, very nice looking map. It's got a couple issues, however, all in all, a very nice looking map. Let's do a quick first look on this. I'll take you around the map and we can look around at some of the features and some of the design options on this map, and yeah, we'll dive into this, guys. All right, let's pitter patter.
Klutch simulations.
All right, so like I said, this is a 4X American style map, so very large map, very interesting actually. Quite a few fields, obviously, and now I say it's a 4X map, however there are a large section that's not used at all on the map. Let's bring up the menu quickly here and take a look at the map itself. So you can see right in the dead center here, that is the farm we start off with. Now this is new farmer mode once again, so you're going to start off with, well, everything that's in green. Every number that's in green, that's one of your fields. So you start off with quite a few fields, however they all are somewhat smaller than, I guess, the average, maybe a little bit bigger than the average. I don't know. It's right in the middle of the average, I guess. But if I come up to the north here, you're going to see some of these fields are absolutely massive. There's a lot of big fields up here, especially if we start talking about combining fields. The fields we start off with are pretty small. However, that being said, this is a great starting area. There's a lot of possibilities with the fields we have, and you're going to be farming a ton if you take on all these fields. So this would be the new farm. This is what they recommend. There are obviously a few other farms. You got some farms up in this region here. If we go over here, you've got a couple more farms you could purchase. So if you decided not to go with the new farmer mode, there's some options there for you as well. Now you can see this line here. This is, I believe there's a creek here that runs all the way along. Anything down in this southeasterly quadrant here is unusable. There's nothing there. So when I say a lot of the map is not used, there's a fairly good sized chunk that we're not going to use for anything, or you wouldn't use for any farming. But anything that's outside of that, obviously, that's in color here, that will be usable fields. So there's quite a bit. The belt line that runs through here, that is a train track. I haven't seen any trains go on it. There's no selectable trains. I don't know if it's used with anything. There's nothing in the notes about that. So might not be any trains, but you have a track that runs right through the middle. And then if we zoom in, you can kind of see, it's not going to show it that well here. Go away from soil composition, maybe it will. Yeah, you can't really see much, but the main town area is right in here, but there are some smaller buildings kind of dotted around. There's not a ton of sell points on the map. There's only a couple, I think 4 sell points in total. All right, so our farm, this is what we start with. Obviously we have a silo. We have some animal areas we begin with as well. Now this is the house, and we have a little garage, and we start with some vehicles. Now the dog looks a little bit funny. I don't know why. The static dog on the porch, I don't know, I find it bizarre. As well, if I warp over here quickly, we got the same thing with pigs. Interesting. Okay, so we got some pigs that are all kind of statues. And we also have some cows that are the same. Yeah, okay. And I don't know what's going on with this poor fella down here. And we've got another guy that's seen better days over here as well. Yeah, I'm personally not a fan of it, but okay. Let's see here. And these gates, I don't believe open. Yeah, so any of these gates here do not open. However, there are some, as you might see, this wooden fence here, recognize that. That obviously is something from one of the mod files. That one does open. And the nice thing about this is this here area on my left is actually the stock pig pen. So we kind of have 2 pig pens. However, everything that's kind of over on this side here is unusable. It's just decoration. So I'm not sure if I'd ever use that stuff. I might even just take that out. But everything over on this side here is obviously the base game stuff, where we can order pigs and they would populate this area. Now, as well on our farm, we have, where is it? A chicken coop. There it is. And that's the standard, right? So nothing out of the norm there. Just the cows and the pigs on the far side are kind of strange. And this garage here is a little bit odd. I can just kind of walk right through it. Those walls are not really there. I just found that out. I thought it was kind of strange. Not sure why, but I can. Anyways, other than that, the farm is nice looking. I love this little area that you have to kind of drive into. There's a couple custom buildings, obviously the garage. Can I warp through this one? No. Okay. So it's just that. The pig pen obviously is custom as well. However, it's not really usable. So we have some other shop buildings down here with some implements. Fuel looks like there. And another shop up here, which is, I've never seen this one before, but interesting little spot for parking more vehicles. So like I said, it's a fairly good size yard. Unfortunately, half of it is not usable for us. All right. So now if I look off to the side here, you can see that's kind of the town in that direction. That's kind of the main-ish town of the area. Let's go for a quick flyby and we'll look at some of the stuff that we have access to here. So I'll just quickly select something we can look around in. There you go. You got a nice top view of our farm. There's the tracks that I was talking about, the belt line that kind of goes throughout the whole map. Like I said, I don't think there's any trains that go on this. I believe that there is just for decoration purposes right now, at least. If we bring up our map so we can take a look where we are. So we've got fields that are all surrounding this farm here. And all these fields are technically ours to do what we want with. So there's quite a bit of fields here. No, they're not massive, but they are a good size. Fairly flat, fairly square for the most part. But if you get up onto this hillside over here, you're going to find you got some interesting elevation changes. And you're also going to find that they're not nearly a square, of course. Well, 16 is up in this hillside. There we go. That's an odd shaped kind of, I was going to say kidney, but it's not even kidney. It's all over the map here. Literally. So that's, yeah, we got quite a few fields, and you got another nice long straight field over here. But look at the elevation changes going on. Interesting. That could be an interesting field to harvest. So that's kind of what we start off with here. Let's go take a quick look around the map. I'll bring the map up a little bit bigger here so we can see what we're looking at. Let's warp over to our starting town area, I guess, the starting sell points. There's a couple sell points in that spot. So that will be right up in here as the main town area, as you can see. And where's our sell points? Our sell points are right in here. We got a lumber sell point, it looks like. And there should be another one in here as well. I think it's all sawmill stuff, actually. Oh, there's the other one right there, I believe. Yeah, anyways, another sell point right there. So that's kind of the main town area. If we scroll on up this direction here, we'll be able to get up into our animal dealer, which is technically right, is it right here? There it is, right there is our animal dealer, which is interesting. Because I wouldn't think to look here for the animal dealer, but that's what that is. And then you can see some of these larger fields that kind of dot this side here. They flatten out quite a bit along the western side of the map, and they're absolutely massive. If we were to combine a couple of these, you could farm for days. Look at the size of these fields. They're huge. Once again, you got another sell point up at the top here, kind of the northwesternly corner. Another small farm area here, as well as, I believe that's the water. Yeah, the main water sell point right here is up here as well, if you don't put any ponds on your farm. Like I said, there's small farms kind of dotting the landscape everywhere. And I suppose if you didn't go with a new farmer, if you went with one of the other options, you could kind of select one of these and potentially start with one of these ones instead of the one that we started with. Once again, you can see they all have, this one has a cow farm as well, as you can see here. Very interesting. But then you look down the down on the horizon and look at the size of these fields. Very large. Yeah, a lot of little, like, they're not massive on their own, but you could easily purchase some of these and combine them by the looks of things. And we'll scroll on back down towards our farm. So the only other thing I want to take a look at, we'll take a look at some prices for some of these fields. Now, since they're broken up fairly well, the prices aren't atrocious. The whole area that we have that you can see on the mini map there, that's all in green, that there is about 2.5 million, but that's one parcel. So it is interesting in the way they've broken all these farms up. Oh, let's zoom out so we can see a bunch of login areas here too, it looks like. We'll get back to our farm. There we go. Look at these hills through here too. But most of the farm areas are all separated by fields for the most part. It's actually, you know what, it's kind of hit and miss. So let's take a quick look. Bring the old menu up. And now if we want to purchase any more, like I said, here's the our main area. and it is worth what, 2.3 million. Wow. Now if you wanted to purchase something smaller, 700,000 for those size fields, which are fairly good size crop fields. But if we go down smaller, you're down to 50, 70,000. But then you have these large parcels again that have several fields in them. So it seems like some are just single fields, others are whole parcels. But $1 million to $500,000 for a decent sized parcel is not that bad. There's certainly maps that have it a lot more expensive, as you can see. So this large portion right here is 1.6 million. Now that being said, I don't know if you're going to need more than what you have. This is a large amount of crop. Maybe starting the game off with one of these larger areas if you want to combine, that might be an option. Anyways, that is really it for this map, guys. Farms of Madison County. It's big. There's a lot going on. I do wish it was more of a town, and there's a couple issues, like I said, with the animals around here that I'm not crazy about, but it does kind of add a bit of a flavor to your farm. I'll give it that much. Anyways, very cool looking map. May look at diving into this a little bit more at some point in time, because it is unique in a sense. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure the download link for this mod is in the description below. You can go download that at your leisure. If you enjoyed the video, guys, drop a like. If you're not a subscriber, do not forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time. This is Klutch, over and out. Go pet the dog. Come here, Pooch. Come here, buddy.